This is in response to the Rachel Madow show from Wednesday, March 11th, 2015, that GOP attacks Obama, which betrays a poor understanding of ISIL and Iran, or Iraq on this particular one. Now, let me get into it. I disagree with some points, and I'd like to expand on a couple points. She did a very thorough analysis of the fact that for the last month or so, we've been hearing stories that the Iraqi army is going to head in and try and take back Tikrit. And supposedly, yesterday there was New York Times, Al Jazeera, Washington Post, all mentioned that they had taken back a small town and that they were working on Tikrit, small town near Tikrit. And they may have completely liberated Tikrit, except for a small couple pockets of people. Now, Rachel showed some stuff. Some videos of all these people chanting, and they translated them, and they were happy, and they were also saying that Sunni and Shia are one, that we're so happy we got rid of ISIL. But let's make something clear about what's going on here. Okay, number one, the force that went up there was 20-some thousand. My understanding of it was that there were about 3,000 Sunni tribesmen. There were about 3,000 Iraqi Iraqi military people, and about 20,000 Iraqi Shiite militia. And the Shiite militia were trained and led by Iranian Quds forces, generals from Iran. So, if you've been, I've been paying attention to this for a couple of weeks, and those Shiite forces have not been the greatest of people when they've gone into some of those towns, because most of those towns have been Sunni. And of course, there was a story that ISIL had slaughtered 1,700 Shiite military people from Iraq last year somewhere in Iraq, and that revenge is very much on their mind. The UN is concerned, and human rights organizations are concerned about the amount of revenge that might be going on. Is it good that they retook Tikrit? Yes, it is very good. It is the little happy picture that Rachel put together in terms of Shiite and Sunni possibly being as one and understanding and agreeing and happy. Yes, but at the same time, there's a lot of things going on underneath the scenes, which isn't good at all. I want to make a quick side note here. When those guys shoot those guns up in the air like they're having them doing, those bullets come back down, and people get maimed and killed just because of that. But that happens all the time. Now, the one thing I want to get back into is that Rachel segues for that into what's going on at the United States Senate right now. There was a big meeting yesterday. They had the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Secretary of State John Kerry there talking before some committee in reference to what's going on there. And the narrative that Rachel is imposing is that they don't really get it. They don't really get what's going on. And I think I get it, and I think I get it really, really good, because I know where the Republicans are headed with this, and I'll get into that in just a minute. But it goes into a number of scenarios where Rubio was basically indicating that the Iranians do not want us in Iraq doing the work that we've done, because we've done like 2,700 sorties. And I think the Secretary of Defense, I believe his name is Carter, basically indicated that he didn't see that they would object to them bombing ISIL, which is Sunni, and to soften them up so that the Shiite militia can go in there and wipe them out. But who was it? It would have been Rubio basically kept on inferring that Iran doesn't want us in there in any way, shape, or form. And of course, Rachel was basically indicating, oh, but they do want us there because we're helping them out quite a bit. Now, what the narrative is on this is that right now the Republicans want to make Iran the bad guy. They want to make them the bad guy because they always have to have a bad guy. So Iran is the bad guy. They're going to get the nuclear bomb. So they don't want anything to do with us because we're the bad guy on the other end. We're the infidels. So But what's happening here is the narrative that's going to come out of the Republicans sooner rather than later, in reference to the fact that the Iranians don't want us there to help them there at all, and that Obama could wipe out ISIL, but we're trying to appease Iran. And the narrative is going to be that Obama is giving Iraq away to Iran as long as Iran signs the bill or the treaty to agree not to have a nuclear weapon. So you get it? That's what's going to come out of all of this. The Senate, the Republicans from the Senate and the House, they're going to make this the issue, that we shouldn't elect any more Democrats, because look what they did. They gave Iraq away to the Iranians just to sign the bill so that they wouldn't get a bomb, and they're still going to get the bomb. See how that narrative plays out? Even though we know that they won't get the bomb for some time, and I've said on a couple of my other rants that it's going to be a long time before they get it, because they don't have the capability or the capacity right now to make nuclear grade uranium. They can make lower grade uranium. They can't make nuclear bomb grade uranium. So that's that's where I think Rachel was thinking it was sort of funny that they were acting stupid about this, meaning especially Marco Rubio. But that's the narrative that they're going to do. They're going to push it. It's going to come out soon, and I hope that all the Dems are going to be really, really aware of all that. And there is nothing. If there's nothing, there's an angle. There's a method to their madness. That's what Rubio was saying. So all that stuff about him being mistaken, misspoken, no, he wasn't misspoken. He knew exactly what he was asking. He knew exactly why he was asking it, to get that type of reaction out of it, so that he could blame Obama for giving Iraq to Iran. Now, she did get into another thing about the authorized use of military force. And of course, as long as the Republicans don't want to go in and authorize Obama to do that, they're toast.